How's it going, everybody? Bob Hansen here from Elevated Prints 3D, and what is this? 2 resin printers that I have right here in front of me? That is true. I got these 2 resin printers in front of me, and this is going to be my comparison of the Elegoo Mars from Elegoo and the Ch-10 Iron Box by Lawmax. So if you want to see if one of these is going to help elevate your life a little bit more, then stay tuned and find out. Looks like you wanted to see which one's going to help elevate your life a little bit more. So again, we've got the Elegoo Mars by Elegoo and the Ch-10 Iron Box by Lawmax. This is going to be my official comparison of the two. First off, I just want to say this is 100% my opinion on what I think about these 2 printers. No one has coerced me into saying certain things about these printers or saying I need to definitely talk about certain specs of them. No, it's 100% my opinion and my thoughts on just personally using these 2 resin printers. So with that, I'm going to be basing it off of 3 main criterias. First, we're going to have the looks. I want my machine to look really nice. When people see it, I want them to be like, yeah, that's a cool printer right there. Or, wow, what is that? Second, it's got to be easy to use, or ease of use. Now, it's important to me because if you get a printer and you just can't use it because it's too difficult to use, it's going to be very unattractive to me and I'm not going to want to purchase it. And then third, print quality. Now, this is probably the most important, and that's why I definitely have to look at that. Print quality is extremely important. You want to make sure that your prints are going to be kind of what you want your prints to be like. So, with that, let's just dive right into how I think these 2 machines look compared to each other. First off, we'll start with the Elegoo Mars. You'll notice it's got this big acrylic red case, and I like the look of it and everything like that. But it seems sometimes the lid can be a little bit of a hassle because you have to grab it with either both hands, lift it up, or you do what I do, and I like to do the one-hand grab, where you just kind of do it like that. But it can leave a bunch of fingerprints on it, it makes it kind of look a little bit messy, and I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with the lid. It can get in the way, but it also is useful at the same time. Yeah, you're supposed to have it on there to help protect from the UV lights that are coming from the screen, so it's not recommended to print with it off. And then you've got your USB port in the back, and then a nice little touch screen. Other than that, that's pretty much all about the looks of kind of how that one is. Now if we jump on over to the Ch-10 Iron Box, I know I kind of talked a lot about this in my last video about this machine, but I love this lid design. I think it's very beneficial because if you are just trying to check out on your prints or just trying to get them out real nice and simple, you can just grab the lid and you don't have to worry about any fingerprints, any smudge marks, or anything like that. And you can have a glove on one hand and have your hand be free with the other hand and not have to worry again about it just not opening correctly. So with that, I will say the Ch-10 has the USB drive on the back or on the side, and then actually has an Ethernet cable in the back. I really do appreciate that it's got that Ethernet cable because it makes it so I can just send the files right from my computer to the machine as long as it's plugged up and connected to the internet. I do think that's a really nice feature that this printer does have. Another thing I want to say is, I know it's kind of funny, but if you compare the on and off switches on these, I love the on and off switch on this Lawmax one. It's got this beautiful, just big button right there, just a nice click, and then it'll get ready to start turning on, while the Elegoo Mars has the button in the back that you just flip to turn on and off. Now with that, I got both the fans on, turn them off real quick. So with that, with the appearance of the 2, I've got to say, I kind of like this machine just a little bit more. I like the industrialized look of it. I think it's got a really cool, it's called the Iron Box for a reason. It just looks like it's a nice, heavy-duty piece of machinery. I really enjoy it. If a customer were to see this compared to this machine, they might think this is a little bit more professional, while this one might be made for using some more toys and stuff like that. But again, that's just how I think about them, and what I think one looks just a little bit better, and then just kind of the functions that this printer has compared to this printer that doesn't have those functions. So now let's kind of jump into ease of use. Now this is going to kind of come down to just a couple of things with this ease of use. And we'll kind of start off with this Elegoo Mars. So we'll take off that lid, And I'll set that right here. Now with the Elegoo Mars, the main thing that I kind of think with ease of use is bed leveling, because everything else, it all just depends on the bed leveling. And realistically, as long as you follow the slicer settings and your room temperature is just fine, you shouldn't have any issues with printing as long as your bed is nice and level. So with this, you have a 2-bolt system, which I think is really nice and very easy to use. Once you loosen these 2 bolts, you have a spring mechanism on the inside that's going to shoot it down, not like shoot this off of it or anything like that, but just push it down so that way you can level it really easily. It'll bring it down and it'll just push a little bit of pressure up onto it, and you're able to tighten the 2 bolts when you're leveling it that way. Now, this is almost a double-edged sword though. While one side it's really, really nice because it's very simple to level that way, you also run into the problem I have personally noticed of it becoming unlevel pretty easily. When you're going to take the prints off of this, when you're scraping them off, your bed has the chances of turning or twisting, which kind of sucks because in my eyes, as soon as that bed plate moves, it's out of level and you don't want to risk trying to print it again while just moving it back. I have tried, 99% of the time it doesn't work. It happens. So that's kind of where this has its big positive and also a little bit of a negative. Now, with this one, with the Ch-10 iron box, it's a little bit different to level it. You have your 4-bolt system on the side, which makes it really nice and sturdy. But, you know, I was raving about really liking the case and all that stuff. Well, this is where it kind of gets in the way. When you're trying to level it and trying to tighten the bolts, you're really at a tight angle to get in there. And sometimes it can be just kind of weird when you're wrenching on it. While this one, you can just, you know, you can just kind of go in wherever and start fixing it that way. So, but I will say, with the 4-bolt system, this machine seems to stay leveled for longer after I scrape parts off of it. And I believe that is because it's got that 4-bolt system, which is holding it in nice and tight. So that's kind of where you get the catch-22. Both of them have their positives and both of them have their negatives on this. So it's kind of a draw. I mean, let me know in the comments which one you think is a little bit better with the leveling. And so with that one, I don't know. I kind of call it a draw, to be honest with you. And now let's jump into the print quality. So, as you can tell, I've got a bunch of prints right up here in front of me. In case you were wondering, the ones on the right are from the Ch-10 iron box, and the ones on the left are from the Elegoo Mars by Elegoo. You could probably put that together though by looking at the video. So we'll just kind of start off by comparing some rings. Let's start off, I really like this rhino ring right here. Let's make sure I don't get them mixed up. So this is the rhino rings, and really it's hard to tell a difference. I mean, I don't even know if there is a difference. Realistically, they're both almost the same machine on their mechanics. You got a 2K screen on it, and it all just depends on if you have your settings right or not. Now we'll look at this Deadpool bust. I did mean to print these at the same size, but I accidentally didn't. And they turned out really cool. I love these little Deadpool busts. I have a lot of fun printing busts now. I used to not print them as much. But with these machines, there's just no reason to not print them. They're just so cool. And the detail is just so great. Realistically, I can't tell a difference at all. The backside is a great way to compare these prints because of the sword. And it definitely did a great job. Both machines did a fantastic job. Since they're pretty much the same thing on the inside, it's hard to compare it that way. And then the last one I printed is this Eiffel Tower. You will notice that one is bigger than the other, and that's because I wanted to maximize my print, like my print volume on the Z-axis. But the Elegoo Mars doesn't print as tall. Even though, I will say, this is kind of funny, they have the same size axis rod, and literally the same like volume, but since this has got this ginormous bolt right here for tightening and loosening, and since the bolt is so small, it's not going to make it so it can't print any higher. It actually has a higher print volume. People have adjusted their Z-axis on this in the code, in their G code, so that way they could print higher. But as soon as it starts going higher, you're going to lift this up, and it's going to start releasing some of the fumes out into the air. So, but yes, let's get back to this print. So that's kind of another thing that can print. Technically, can print a little bit higher. And then let's look at this. Now, I do have a time lapse of this, and you know, let's slide onto that time lapse right now. That time lapse turned out really nice. I was very happy with it. It was of these two. You will notice that the Mars did finish faster, but it's smaller. So of course it was going to finish a little bit faster. But the detail on these things, this is from the Lot Max, is just out of this world. And I'm not trying to say that because this is the Elegoo Mars. Hopefully you laughed at that joke. I thought it was funny. And this one's from the Elegoo Mars, this print, and it turned out just spectacular. I'm super stoked on the prints. So, with all of that, let's kind of calculate Bob's thoughts on these two resin printers. Carry the X plus the R. Yeah, you know, gotta say, I love both of these printers. It's really hard to compare the two, especially since they're almost the same machine in the mechanics. So with this, I'm going to be basing it off of just some of the extra features that it comes with. So at a price tag of about $30 more, I would probably say this one has a little bit more specs that can be nicer to use in the long run. With the USB port on the side and the Ethernet cable, it definitely is a little bit nicer. Now I am comparing these, are just the base models, so I know the Pro has a little bit of an adjustment to where they move stuff and all that fun stuff. But this is their standard, and this is their standard series ones either. They don't have a Pro series yet. Or I don't know if they are going to be releasing one or not. That's up to Lot Max. So, I've got to say, I think that this one is just slightly better, only because of the extra features that it gives you, and I just like the look a little bit more. The lid is really nice, the USB cable and the Ethernet cable, and then that nice solid button. So, with that, if you don't agree with me, that's alright. If you do agree with me, woohoo! Awesome, we think the same. But yeah, this is my 100% my opinion on these two machines right here. If you want to, leave a comment in the section below. Say hi, say what's up, tell me what you thought about this. If there's anything I could do better. I appreciate you. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and click subscribe and then click the notification button so you get notified when I release new videos. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you all. Keep printing out there, keep it groovy, and keep elevating those lives around you. See you next time. Bye.